And here we are for Penny's big breakaway. Any percent restricted, we have Mildew. Mildew, whenever you are ready, let's break away.
Hell yeah. So, hello everyone, I am Mildew, and this is Penny's Big Breakaway, any percent restricted. Now, you might ask yourself, what makes this run restricted? So, very early on in the game's speedrunning career, we found a couple of tricks that completely break the game. So we made a category that basically bans those tricks. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say right now. And we're just gonna hop right into it in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thank you. All right. So, right at the beginning here, we actually don't have all of our moves that we need in order to beat the game. So, we just have this little dingy yo-yo that I'm just going to swing around for a bit because this is the fastest movement that I can do right now. And then we're just going to pick up this randomly suspicious yo-yo in the alleyway. And now our yo-yo is sentient, and it gives us our moveset. We have this dash. We can ride on top of the yo-yo. We can do like wall jumps and get on top of walls like this. And if I do this right, we can basically get to this part of the level and on to the start of the game. So the glitch, what's the glitch level? I don't know. Okay, so this is 1-1, and a lot of restricted is basically using whatever we can to go through levels fast. Alright, I felt that's okay. So we're gonna go over this again, and then we're gonna go over to these girders, and then not mess that up this time. And then we got some trampolines. And coming up is a zipline skip. So a lot of the zip lines in this game are slow. They're kind of they kind of put you on a set path, and we don't like to go slow. So I'm gonna do that really quickly, and we are good. I probably should have grabbed that checkpoint, but we ball. We're gonna continue on here as normally. But yeah, a lot of restricted is very straightforward. Just gonna grab checkpoints for safety. That's pretty much it. Oh, alright, I slowed down.
You mind if I drop in with a quick donation?
Yeah, go right ahead.
We have $50 from Debonair VT. That name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Who says, let's toss Kiri in as the player character name, and that would be the player character name for Let's Go Eevee later on. Also, I was going to donate my final time in minutes, but it was less than 50, so here's $50. Thank you so much, Debonair, and that was once again an amazing run.
Oh yeah. Alright, so once we get to the end of the level, we go into like this bonus minigame, and the fastest way to continue is to just fail that. So, yep, that's basically what we would want to do. But when we start that, we start mashing all of the buttons to make sure that we cancel it. Sometimes there's like a circular motion, and we can't really do too much about that, except like try to spin it in the other way, but that's kind of finicky. Alright, so gonna get over this wall that you don't need to unlock, and then we're gonna do another zipline skip right here. Alright, that should be good. Yep, I'm gonna grab this checkpoint because this next part is pretty difficult. So we're gonna get on top of a roof over here. Oh, am I gonna be able to? Okay, we're fine, I think. Yeah, we're fine. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do an around the world to get some height, and then we're gonna, I don't know if I got this. Yeah, that was a little too far out. But basically what I'm trying to do there is cross a gap and skip a pretty big majority of this level. Well, it's not a majority, but you know what I mean.
Can I drop in with another donation, Mildew?
Yeah, of course.
Number one, we just broke $3,100. So thank you again for everybody who's donating. That is incredible.
Nice.
But
That's
Rally,
awesome.
it is extremely awesome. And Rally donates $50 and says, donating $1 for every ride on the cloud in Debonair's Kitsune Tales run. Let's reach that goal and help support the trans community. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Rally. Trans rights.
All right. So this trick is giving me a little bit of difficulty. So if I mess it up this time, I'm just going to go the regular route. You know what? I'm just going to go the regular route right now. All right. That's unfortunate. I was hitting that trick pretty well in practice earlier, so that's a little disappointing, but that's okay. All right. And I haven't done this level, like, casually in a while, so we're just gonna remember how to do that real quick. Get over this wall. And we're gonna go up here. Alright. Yeah, this game is pretty... A lot of the strats are very high risk, high reward. Like that... If I was able to get that trick, I would basically be over here, like, as soon as it was done. Alright, so we're done with the, with 1-2. 1-3, introduces the first of 2 power-ups. I think it's 2. No, it's like 3. It's 3. The burger. So basically, when we get this burger, our yo-yo turns into a bowling ball, and we are able to smash these walls that are around this level. So we're gonna get on top of this right here, and then we're gonna do a nice cheeky little swing to get on top of this building, and then we're gonna use this building to go across and skip having to break that wall down there. And we're gonna continue using the rooftops to go through this level, and then finally go through there. I don't think I had enough speed there to really skip too much, but we're gonna continue going through the level. And this is a pretty good 1-3 so far. If I have enough speed here, I can just do that. Alright. Now I'm gonna do a dash and immediately hit the ride button so that it cancels getting on the ride, and we get on it immediately, and I can go fast with the burger. So that was a burger, turns into a burger, and it breaks down walls. And we got another spinning first input on that busker bonus. Those kind of lose me a bit of time because, again, I have to go in the opposite direction of where it's going in order to actually fail the busker bonus. Alright, so we're on to 1-4 here. There's a pretty difficult trick that I'm going for here that saves quite a bit of time. I think it's a couple. It's like a couple of seconds, but, like, you know what? I'm gonna grab this checkpoint, and we're gonna go there. So once we get off of that line, we're gonna go to the left here. We're gonna immediately swing our yo-yo to keep our momentum, and then we're gonna swing over to this girder, and then we're gonna swing from this girder over to this spot right here, and that skipped basically going to the right side, and a couple of zip lines like this one right here we can skip. And we're gonna do another zip line skip very shortly. We just gotta get over there. Grab the checkpoint for safety. I say it's for safety, but it was in my path, so... Is it really for safety? Alright, so we're gonna swing over this area, and we're gonna hopefully clip through the ground. This is the only trick in the run that is allowed. And we go through the door, and that is 1-4. Alright. So, coming up now is the first boss fight in the run. So normally you would have to run away from this big penguin ball that spawns when you go into that area down to the right. But I'm going to do a couple of wall jumps to get on top of some buildings that allow me to skip a pretty significant portion of the level. So now we're going to... You know what I just realized? All right. So we are on 60 FPS, and that's bad because things like that can happen. Where my swing will just cancel itself. So I'm just going to fix that really quickly. And we're going back into the level. This run's going smooth so far. Alright. So we're going to do that again. So I'm going to swing and jump at the same time so that when the yo-yo stops, it's a little bit further up in the air so I can jump on it. I can get a bit more height from that. And that is necessary in order to get this trick down. And then we're just going to get on top of this roof again. That's not going to work. Oh, man. All right. So we're going to do this again. Nope. All right. So if you go too far to the right there, the camera angle will change. Oh, my God. What is going on with me today? All right. That's the wrong direction. Alright. So now we're on top of here. And here we go. Alright. So now we swing over to this rooftop. We keep our speed. And we're going to swing on top of this rooftop. And we're going to swing again. Jump in and attack to keep our speed. I have to take this safe now because I didn't get enough speed. Alright. And now we continue on with the level. That was the big skip of this level. So that noise was normal. I think it's the... At the beginning of the level, there's like a health refresher. And I think that's what that noise was. So I'm just gonna... Ooh, that was very lucky. And there we go. That is the end of the level. I should have went... I was supposed to go back to... Never mind, it didn't matter there. Alright, so up next is Tideswell. And Tideswell introduces a bunch of water. So, water in this game helps us break the game entirely, because you can ride on it infinitely as long as you have enough speed to do so. So, we are going to do some clever platforming to get up to a part of the level that we really shouldn't be in. And then we're gonna die, and we're gonna do that again. So we're going to wall jump up here. And we're going to die again. All right. All right. So... All right. We're going to get up to this area again. Wall jump off of the waterfall, and then we're gonna wall jump off of that, and then we're gonna go around this corner here. I'm going to take this a bit slow so that I know where I am. Alright. Then we're going to unscrew this screw and basically get to the end of the level. Yeah, so that trick saves, like, quite a bit of time. It saves a lot of time going around the level and doing that normally. Alright. So now we're on to 2-2, and we get introduced to another power-up called the Whirly Wafer. And what that does is it turns our yo-yo into a helicopter and allows us to go up. We don't use it for very long in this level, but it is very useful. Oh my god. Alright. Alright, so we go into the pipe. And over to the wafer. And then we spin. And it brings us into the air. We stop right here. We swing over to this section. And then we're going to do some wall jump stuff. And now we're going to swing over to the left here. And we're basically going to ride this water all the way to the end of the level. Because that's just how broken water is. And while I'm doing this, I'm moving, like, left and right diagonally, because that kind of keeps up your speed from what you originally have. And then once we get to the end of the level, we have another boss fight. Alright. Get on the thing, thank you. Alright. So now we're at this boss fight, and basically what we have to do is we have to repair Sheila's boat. We don't actually have to fight this boss. All we have to do is screw in these screws, and that's basically it. So every time, you know, she gets angry, and then she storms off, and we gotta go catch up to the boat again. Each phase brings out these torpedoes, or her, whatever these are. I actually don't know. And we have to dodge them. They're pretty easy to dodge on the first phase that she brings them out. Just don't be towards the area when she throws them. And then we're just gonna screw in another screw. And then we just have the top screw to go. But now, in this phase, those, I'm just going to call them chomper yo-yos, because that's what they look like, are a bit faster. If you stay in the same line and then, like, veer off to, like, a different direction, you'll pretty easily avoid them. So we're just going to get to the top of the boat here, screw in the screw. And that's the stage clear. So, I went back to return to menu instead of hitting continue, because that actually skips a cutscene and saves us like a couple of seconds. Like, we won't have to skip the cutscene manually and waste a couple of seconds. So this is Zafara, and Zafara brings us quicksand. The thing about quicksand is it will knock you off of your ride basically immediately. So what we do to like circumvent that is we keep jumping in order to make sure we don't fall into the quicksand. And I purposefully went into the quicksand there because I wanted to get over that hump. And you can go into the quicksand once without dying, and you can jump out. But if you land in the quicksand again for a second time, you will not be able to jump out and you will die. And that was the first level done pretty quickly. This next level is pretty quick as well. It has a pretty neat trick in order to skip a giant section of the level. So we're going to make our way over to this area here, and then we're going to go on top of this canister, wall jump off of this, and now we're on top of the level. And then we're going to basically use the same trick as before to get to a later part of the level pretty quickly. And then I'm going to take this checkpoint because I don't trust myself, because this run has been going great. And basically we are fine, and that's the end of the level. All right.
While you're celebrating here, do we have time for a quick word?
Yeah.
So I just want to welcome in the raiders that just came on into the channel. You're watching Speed4 TLC. We're supporting the Transgender Law Center. For more information, !TLC or !charity about that charity. And if you want to donate, !donate. We'll get you all the information to donate to the Tiltify in chat.
All right. So 3-3 introduces the pepper that I'm going to pick up right now. And it turns our yo-yo into a wheelie from Kirby Air Ride. And I'm gonna use that to get up here. All right, I didn't do it perfectly, but if I was to, there's like a little rev up animation that goes on. But in order for me to skip that, what I do is I dash and then immediately hit the ride, and it skips that little rev up animation. Saves us a couple of seconds. Also, the other thing that saves us a couple of seconds is definitely not doing that. So I just gotta go over to this. So you can actually complete this level without having to pick up the pepper and basically stopping for the couple of seconds that you picks up the animation. I don't even know what happened there. I think it looks like I hit the electricity and fell through a small crack. That has never happened before. I always have to say that at least once in my marathon runs. It's like,
yes,
it's
thank
like
you
a
for
tradition.
saying the thing.
It's like a tradition now. Alright, so once we get to the bottom of this hill, that is this level completed. And we move on to 3-4. Alright. Uh, 3-4, let me think. I don't think there's anything really too technical about this. I'm just gonna go across the quicksand here because it's a bit faster than going through part of the level normally. You have these fans that bring you up, nothing too major. And then I'm gonna use that area to continue and grab the pepper, because we need the pepper in order to go fast on the quicksand. That is very necessary. And then I'm just going to do that again. Making sure to jump after a second on the quicksand in order to not get stuck. Alright. I really don't know what's going on today. Alright, so, we get up to this part of the level and grab the checkpoint, and we have another Pepper in front of us. I'm going to do the trick again in order to skip the rev up. And then off of this ramp, I'm going to go to the right instead of going towards that zip line over there, because we can actually skip it and get to the end of the level pretty quickly. So we almost get a strike, but completely missed those penguins, and that's the end of this level. And now we are on what I think is the worst boss fight in the entire game, Mr. Q. And the gimmick with Mr. Q is you're basically playing pool. So we're gonna get into position so that when we knock back this plasma ball that he's about to kick at us, his head actually falls into the pocket and we can continue. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get on top of the a place that I really don't need to, and it didn't even matter anyway because we're gonna get the jump as the next attack, and that is optimal for doing this boss fight. So we're gonna hit the ball back 3 times, and then his first head is gonna fall into the pocket, and we're going to hit the second head into that pocket, and then we're gonna go to this side of the playing area. And it didn't, I messed it up, but again, it doesn't even matter because we got that good RNG in order to actually be able to beat the level quick. So he's going to jump 3 times, and the last jump I'm going to position him on the middle pocket so that, again, when we hit the last plasma ball into him, his head will roll into the first pocket, and then the other 2 balls are pretty much set up so that we can quickly and very easily do that. That was definitely planned. And that's the end of that level. Penny can't believe it herself that what level went so great that she had to like shake her head. So once we're done with that, we go to Molto Bene. Molto Bene is one of the first really hard levels in the run, and it is mainly because of the lava. So the lava we can ride on as well. Thing is, the game's not going to let us ride on the lava infinitely, like water, and a little bit longer than quicksand. So that's just one thing to consider when I'm going through these levels. So I'm going to get on top of this area right here, and then we're going to make use of this wall to swing over to this section of the level, and then we are going to actually skip another portion of the level by swinging from this way. That was fine because there is a bush that I can stand on there, and we're going to continue the level like normally. So a lot of restricted is basically using whatever we can in order to break levels and go fast. So there isn't anything like too technical to really talk about. I mean, if we have any donations or anything, or if you would like to say anything, P-Seg, go right ahead.
Absolutely. I'd love to talk about one of the bid wars that I have not mentioned in a little while, but for those of you who may have just stopped in, are wondering, like, what are we doing this all for? ! Donate. You can donate to the Transgender Law Center. That's what we're all here for, to help support trans rights. But one of the bid wars is for a run tomorrow, Peglin. And almost appropriate, I couldn't time it perfectly, but for the billiards we were doing earlier. But it's okay. That was on me. But there's a character choice that we can choose here. And right now, in the lead, Baladin, however you want to pronounce that, is in the lead with $82.45, followed by Peglin himself at $18.22, and then Roundrel at $15. So if you want to see a certain character for Peglin tomorrow, get those donations in. We also still have the naming bid war for Pokemon Let's Go Eevee as well, so don't forget about that. You have choices here today.
All right, so unfortunately, this zip line it's not faster to skip that one, so we just take it, and it caps our speed and stuff and is really slow. But basically, we're just going to go through this level, and I'll bring up the lava again because we're about to use that to our advantage over here. So I'm going to go this way, and then I'm going to make sure that I'm not on the lava for more than 3 seconds, or else you get knocked off. And when you get knocked off of a ride on lava or quicksand, you lose some of your movement abilities. So that's not ideal. So we just use the lava to skip a pretty large portion of the level. And that's the beauty of restricted. Like, if you can figure out a way to navigate the level and skip a bunch of stuff, we do it. So coming up here is a couple of neat stuff. Like these popcorn things. We're gonna skip having to go on that zip line because that could actually put us into that fire, and we really don't want that. And then we're gonna have one last skip coming up here. Maybe not, because I don't think I had enough speed, but we're just gonna jump off of this carpet ride and skip that anyway. And next up we got 4-3. Which is also a pretty difficult level in Molto Bene. Lot of lava, a lot of really neat stuff going on here. So I'm just gonna wall jump up this wall at the beginning here. And we're gonna go right on through. Well, that's not good. Alright. So we'll just go to the beginning of the level again. And keep going. Alright. So yeah, so a lot of, like, the movement stuff is based on, like, your swing and, like, where you release your swing is very important in order to go fast. So we're gonna skip a part of the level here by going on top of that wall and into this lava. And then once I get over this part, I'm gonna actually grab this checkpoint for safety. And we're gonna, again, ride the lava on top of here. I'm gonna do some shenanigans. And we're going to make it over there. That actually looks a lot harder than it is. That skips a magic carpet ride that you would have to take in order to progress. And now we have the pepper, and we're gonna ride this on the lava all the way here, while moving left and right to conserve our speed. And once we get through this, you don't actually have to take that whirly wafer. You can just go through the fire at the bottom there. And that is Molto Bene. We are out of one of the hardest levels in the game. Alright. Next up is Bubblin'. Bubblin' is a pretty cool level. It has a lot of skips that are really nice. Like this one coming up right here. Maybe I wouldn't really classify it as a skip, but it does kind of get us to a higher platform in a way that isn't really intended. And then we're going to use the speed that we get. We're going to use the speed that we get here. That isn't really that great. This should be fine. To get on top of this faucet right here. And continue the level. And we're going to continue going on to these faucets and these the water updrafts. In order.
While we're riding the water, do we have time for a donation?
Yeah.
We've got $50 from DP Oblivion, who says, "Gotta donate to an important cause." Thank you so much, Oblivion. Greatly appreciate that.
Alright, so, I missed a skip here. You can skip this zip line, but a lot of factors need to be there. Like, I had to have had enough speed, and then I needed to use the ramp there in order to get enough height in order to skip that section as well. Or the zip line, I should say. So now I'm just gonna go on top of this water here, because again, we can ride water infinitely as long as we have some speed. I didn't get the skip that I wanted to here, so now we're going for the imposter skip, and it's called that because we use the vent. And we go over this big wall into the exit. Alright. And that is 5-1 done. 5-2 is pretty cool as well. There's a couple of skips that we do here. If I can... That's unfortunate. That is very unlucky. So if you start tumbling like that, you actually can't do anything. So there wasn't really anything I could really do in order to not die there. But that's alright. This run continues. So we're gonna get on top of this area here, and then we're gonna get some speed. We're gonna use this side to... Okay, that was ridiculous. I think that might have been a zip, but considering this isn't gonna like PB or anything, I'm just gonna continue. So yeah, so we use that. If I go on that rail like I did there, it sets us up to go on that ramp perfectly fine, and we use that water spout in order to skip a portion of the level. Just going on top of the level geometry here, because again, if you can use it to your advantage, we do in restricted. And we are pretty much at the end of the level here. Alright. You'll notice that, like, on this platform, there's, like, 3 tiers when you stand on them. It doesn't really matter in terms of, like, any percent or, like, anything, because, you don't really use points for anything, but, and I don't even think we would use it in 100%, because I don't think we count the scrapbook items. But basically, what happens when you get on to, like, each tier is that it adds, like, a section to the busker bonus. So, like, if you, like, I just got onto the second tier, which is the silver tier, and that would add another section to the busker bonus. And then all the way at the top, the gold tier adds 3 sections. But the only thing it's really used for is points. You just get points from it, which is necessary in order to unlock all of the scrapbook items, but it doesn't count towards, like, your progression, and is shared with all of your save files, so it wouldn't really count towards the 100%. So we're just going to use this water to our advantage. We're going to use this sprout to get us up here. And then we're going to use the fact that we're up top here to skip having to go into that pipe and continue with the level. I've got a pretty difficult zipline skip coming up right here after I get off of these trampolines. We're gonna... I don't know if that's gonna work, but we'll see. Alright, and we did it. I really didn't think that was gonna work, but you know what? I surprise myself every day. Alright. So, I'm gonna skip getting that pepper because we really don't need it in order to actually finish the level. And then once I'm done with this level, we go on to our next boss fight, which is Emperor Eddie. So, the lore of this story is, you know, you get the sentient yo-yo in the alleyway, and then you go to the village's gala, and what ends up happening in that gala is your yo-yo eats all of Emperor Eddie's clothes. So he basically calls for your arrest, and that's where the big breakaway comes in and all of these penguins. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna square up to him basically immediately, and we dodge him so well that he kind of messes up and starts to lose balance, and then we're gonna grab his waistband and throw him into the river. We're gonna troll him a bit by doing exactly what he's doing. And because we're so good at dodging his stuff, he just gets dizzy, and then we pull on his waistband one more time, and that's the entire fight. Alright, so next we are going to World's Edge. This is probably my favorite looking level. A lot of really nice colors happen in here. Like, everything, like, blends so well with each other. As far as, like, difficulty is, it's not too hard. It does take a while to get used to everything. But we have these books here that teleport us to different sections of the level when we enter them. But only those books. These books right here count as platforms. So we open them up and we can stand on them. I'm going to grab this checkpoint and going to wait for this to come down, actually, because I don't trust myself. And again, we're using every bit of terrain to our advantage that we possibly can in order to basically get the perfect line in order to get to the end of these levels. This level's end is coming up pretty quickly here. I just have to swing up to this section and get on to the busker bonus. Alright. So now we're going on to 6-2. And this level, we used to... It took a while for us to do this level, and then we found out that there is like a section that you can like cheese and get towards the end. So I'm just gonna get over to there. We're gonna use the torch to light the fuse and get into this cannon right here to get to the next section. And then this is where we're gonna use the environment to our advantage to really go through this level fast. So I'm gonna get on top of these bookshelves, and then we're gonna get on top of these trees, and then I'm going to fling myself over to this tree in the background here, making sure to keep at the right height in order to not die, and basically skip all the way to the end of the level. That actually saved like 30 seconds from doing it casually. It's pretty cool. Alright, the next level is Speed Reader. I don't think there's anything too technical to really say about this level, so if we have like any donations or anything, go for it.
You got it. I've got something I can speed read about the Transgender Law Center right now. The Transgender Law Center has a long history of victories for the trans movement, from winning rights for trans workers nationwide to the first federal appellate court decision protecting trans students under constitutional law. Since 2018, their litigation team has shifted our work to focus on ending the criminalization of trans lives. Through their Legal Services Project, TLC also empowers communities to understand the law and use it as a tool to advocate for themselves. Okay, I could have read that faster, but also, it's a very good cause. I wanted to take my time so y'all could understand we are helping to support a great cause here at Speed4.
Hell yeah. Alright. So, yeah, it's still not really too much to say. Just, going through a couple of gaps and things. We have a couple of more of these fuses to light, and they're actually pretty easy to get to without too much problems. You see right there, I didn't really do that optimally, but we still had plenty of time to actually get into the cannon and blast ourselves through there. And once we get past this section, we are almost done with the level. So I don't know if those showed up before, but that was a job that the denizens ask you to do. They can range from like getting a certain amount of points, or collecting a bunch of stuff, or breaking a wall. Obviously we don't really do any of them in any percent because they don't really help us out. It's just basically for 100%. Alright. So, this is 6-4, right? Yeah, this is 6-4. There's a pretty big skip, actually, towards the middle of the level. I just gotta get over to this teleportation book really quickly, and then I will go over it. We're just gonna hit that bomb into those blocks in order to get it. I'm gonna grab this checkpoint because it's definitely needed. Normally you would have to light a fuse and get into the cannon, but we can just head over to this teleportation book, and we're going to go on top of this tree, and then we're going to swing on top of there, and we skipped having to actually go into the cannon. That actually is a lot harder than it looks. And basically we are straight sailing to the end of the level, unless we're going too fast and we end up hitting the wall like that. Alright, so next up is the boss fight for this level, which is actually a race between a puppet of yourself, controlled by Taboo, who is a character in this game that I can't remember the story on, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. So the main gimmick of this is we have to collect coins, and by the end of the race we have to have more coins than our puppet doppelganger, or else it'll we actually have to redo the race, and I really don't want to do that. So we're gonna go through this as fast as we can. Oh. No, I don't have enough speed, so I can't really do the big skip here. But I'm just gonna come on there, and we're gonna breeze through this level. Oh my god, alright. I think we have more than enough coins, I think, for sure. So I'm just gonna forget what I was doing there and go to the end. Alright, so that's that level done. We're gonna return to menu again so that we skip a cutscene. And now we are in Pangoville. Pangoville is quite possibly the shortest world in the entire run, and that is thanks to the fact that it is surrounded by water, and we can use this water to our advantage very well. So I'm gonna ride the water up until I get to this wall, and then we're gonna wall jump on here, and we're gonna get on top of here. And now we're going to go around this this rock right here, and we're gonna go to here, and we're gonna save ourselves. We're gonna save ourselves again, and we're gonna get on top of here, and that's the end of the first level. All right. The second level is actually the shortest level in the entire run. It is very fast, but also very difficult. So we're just gonna do that really quickly here. Alright, so we're gonna wall jump off of this. I messed that up. So I'm gonna do that again. Just gonna get over there really quickly. Wall jump off of the wall. Wall jump off of that, and then we mess it up again. No, that's not it either. Oh my god. Alright. Third time's a charm.
If I may hop in here with a suggestion for chat and all the viewers.
Yeah.
We've been talking about Penny's Big Breakaway, but I'm looking at the total, and dare I say, that is a whole dollar number. There are no coins, there's no anything of the sort that would represent cents in there, and also it's $40 short of 3,200, which I think would be pretty hype, don't you, chat? So, to get more information on donating, !donate, and if you want to learn about the charity a little bit more, !TLC or !charity.
All right, there we go. I did it right this time, and that is the end of the level. All right, so now that that's over, we go on to 7-3, which is quite possibly the hardest level to do fast in the entire run. And it is very dangerous because you don't really get a checkpoint. So we're going to go this way, and we're going to keep going to the right over here. That's the wrong direction. We're going to... Oh my god. Alright. I swear I practiced this. So, I don't have the speed that I usually would over here. That's okay, because we're going to pick up more speed once we get over here. So we're going to swing down there, and then we're going to swing over here. And the reason why I put the game at 120 frames per second is because this level is a lot easier at a higher frame rate. On 60 FPS, the likelihood of me falling into the river because my ride doesn't connect is greatly increased. So that's why I play on 120 FPS. The only thing it does is it does kind of change up your swing mechanics, so you just got to get used to that. But other than that, that is Pangoville done. And we are on to the 8th world, Industria. Industria is pretty cool, I think. Again, not really too much to talk about. You do get the magnet, which allows us to go into these fields and up and over. And that is pretty cool. But other than that, we're going to use our skills and abilities to go through the levels fast. I think I'm gonna grab this checkpoint, and we're gonna go over the electrified pole so that we can continue on with the level. A lot of like the routing in this game was pretty fun when it first came out, because the community is like has been so good at like figuring out shortcuts and ways to really break these levels. And you know, this game is just it's a very good game, very fun. If you have not played it casually, I definitely do recommend it. Yeah. So we're gonna continue through this level, and I'm gonna hopefully get this magnet trick coming up next. So I'm gonna go into the magnetic field, and then we're gonna do that 3 times, and we're gonna get on top of here. Then we're going to get on top of this one, and we're going to swing our way over to this section and skip having to use the magnet again on that side. And this level is coming to a close. Once I hit this ring right here, we can just go right to the busker bonus in the end. All right, I'm just gonna flat out say it. According to my splits, I am gonna go overestimate, so I do apologize for that. This game is very difficult, and you know, a lot could go wrong, and I thought I accounted for that, but I guess not. Anyway, 8-2. This level is pretty straightforward. Lots of bombs and stuff that we can use to break walls. And we use our abilities to get on top of stuff. Just the same old thing. Alright. We're gonna do another big skip very shortly. This wall right here, you're normally supposed to hit the bomb that comes out of that cannon into it, but you can just get on top of it like that. And then we're going to get on top of this Saturn-looking thing and get stuck for some reason. And then we're gonna get on top of there and skip having to destroy that wall. Alright. And then we can go over that wall by doing that. And then we can skip having to break another wall by going over this. And I'm going to do another pretty big skip right here. We're going to land on top of this. And I'm going to swing over to my death. And we're back at that one wall. So, alright. Gonna get back over there again. Alright. This is... You can either break that wall, or you can actually use the fan to get up there. If you go close to the wall, the fan actually does work. I'm just gonna do this normally, I think. I don't think I'm gonna try to do that again. We're gonna hit this bomb right here, break the wall, and come up here. If I had gotten that one trick earlier, we could have just skipped that, but it is all good. So we're gonna go this way.
And while we're heading that way, Mildew, do you have time for a quick donation?
Yeah.
We've got $10 from Luigi's Apartment, who says,
Hell yeah.
Yo, Mildew! Thanks for teaching me about this awesome game. Trans rights are human rights.
Hell yeah.
Yes,
Thank you,
they
Luigi.
are.
If you guys are looking for a speedrunning podcast, look no further than Need for Speedrunning, hosted by Luigi's Apartment, Brad, we got J Hobbs, and Ruby Heart. They do a really good job at explaining speedrunning stuff. And now we are on the Pango bot, which is this world's boss fight. So he's gonna do an attack, and then he's gonna slam the ground, and we're gonna have to grab a magnet in order to actually attack him. So we got to do that 3 times in order to beat the boss fight. So this is some pretty good RNG. The clap, I think, is the longest one, which was the first one. Oh, and the magnet's gonna spawn right on top of us. So we just gotta hit him one more time, and that's it. We actually do want that move, because the pecs on the ground get increased by 1 each phase. So he would actually hit the ground 4 times instead of like 3 or 2. And that was actually a really good Pango bot. So we're done with that level, and we are now going into Lawberry. Lawberry is also pretty difficult because it is another level filled with lava. And again, lava will knock you off of your ride after 3 seconds, so we just got to be careful with that. Lawberry also has a lot of skips that we can do as well, because we can't necessarily ride on it infinitely, but if we, get off of our ride, we jump and we get back on our ride like we have been doing, we can actually skip pretty big portions of the level. So this is the first one. So I'm going to go through all of these objects that are totally real. And we're actually going to end up in one of the bonus areas of the level. So we're going to get on top of this wall here. And then we're going to go through here and through this baseball glove. And that brings us to a later portion of the level, pretty early on. So we're gonna grab the durian, which actually makes us invincible. And that helps a lot because we can actually ride on the lava indefinitely now. And because of that, we can very quickly and very easily get to the end of this level. That was a pretty decent 9-1.
And if I can pop in here real quick, Mildew, I've got a just quick word. Chat, you're doing a great job donating, ! Donate. But please remember, when you are putting in incentives for name bid wars and things like that, make sure to put the name you want in your comments. We don't know otherwise what name you want. It's choose the character in the poll and then type in the name in the comment, and we'll put it in our little private spreadsheet and figure out who gets named what when it's time. Thank you so much, and keep those donations rolling in. I still see we have a whole number. Apparently not enough Penny fans here yet.
Yeah, what? That's... Alright, we gotta get somebody donate 501. Let's get a 501 train going. How about that?
There we go. Yeah, 501 train. Why not? That's a great idea.
Alright. So, 9-2 is pretty simple. We use the lava to our advantage to get to that teleportation book pretty early. And then we're gonna actually skip having to do the magic carpet ride by swinging very efficiently. And now we're not done with some skips and shenanigans because I'm gonna ride the lava over here and die. But that's okay because I got a checkpoint earlier, which is okay. I don't think the lava was at a optimal point for me to really do that, and I still think it isn't. I don't know why I keep going for that. I'm just gonna do this regularly. What you can do, and what I'm going to do, is you get over to this section of the level and you grab the pepper, and that you can ride all the way to this wall over here. And that's basically the end of the level. But it is faster to go a little risky and ride on the lava to the right, because you can get over to this platform quickly by doing so. All right. So now we've got 9-3, which is quite possibly the hardest level in all of Lawberry. So, you know, not a lot of things can really stop this run. I think the only thing that can is a purple square wall that appears right in front of my face. Oh my god, there it is, and it's fake. So we go through that wall, and then we head towards this area, and we hit a specific spot in order to turn the camera around, so we can actually see where we are going. It's possible to do this level if the camera was in the opposite direction of where we are going. I don't know why that didn't connect, and we got to do that all over again.
If it can hop in here real quick again, Mildew, about that 501 train. We're at about 1 hour, 5 minutes, and we're past the 1 second mark, but y'all, the train might be leaving the station. You might want to get those $5 1 cent donations rolling in if you want to catch a ticket. Just saying, just saying.
Yeah, get those donations in, please.
In fact, actually, we got one right now from Big Law for $5.01.
Let's go.
Let's name the trainer Pikachu. Also, any penny heads in the chat? That's right, penny heads. It's time to rise up. Your time is now. The train is tooting its horn. It's leaving the station, and you need to be on it.
All right, so that's what should have happened at the beginning of the level. But again, another quick level, and now we are on to the boss fight of this level, Rufus. So I'm going to skip the cutscene real quick, and then we're going to jump and attack, and we can actually grab Judge Rufus's gavel early. And then we're going to bounce off of our yo-yo and get high enough so that we can grab his gavel again. And then he's going to do this attack. He's going to write in his book. And then we're going to grab the gavel one more time. And that is the entire boss fight. That was a really good Rufus for all that it's worth. All right. Now we end up at Galanite. We have made it all the way back to Vanilla Town. This is basically a remixed Vanilla Town. We're back at the gala, and you know, this song is really good. The soundtrack is amazing, by the way. Very good composers contributed to this. But you know, the soundtrack is on streaming services, so you know, if you want to listen to them on there, you can. But yeah, I definitely find myself listening to this soundtrack a lot still, because a lot of the songs in this game are really catchy, and you know, they fit the level themes really well. So coming up in a minute, we've got another zipline skip. A little bit more difficult than the other ones, because the camera isn't that great. So we're gonna jump off of here, and we're gonna make our way through there pretty easily. And now we are going to basically continue our ascent up this level. A lot of Galanite is actually more vertical than horizontal. So doing these levels fast is pretty fun. So we got another zipline skip here. We just go all the way out and swing over. again, using whatever skills we have to break the game entirely. So, normally we are supposed to hit a light bulb in order to take out that electric field, but we could just go around it like that. And another electric field over here, we can just skip by doing this. And that is Gala Knight level 1 done.
And Mildew, I've got one more ticket for that $5 1 cent train if you've got time.
We
Hockey
certainly
Babbler,
do.
heck yes. Hockey Babbler donates $5 1 cent and says, "Choo choo, Trainer Pikachu, I choose you." And there we go. Let's get the names of those Pokemon trainers, rivals, Eevee that you want. Make sure you put them in your donos. That's how you do it.
Yes. All right. So, 10-2, very vertical level. So we use these zip lines to our advantage. And we use things like these diving boards to our advantage to go up. Very, very cool level. In a game where we are usually going like horizontally, a good vertical level does well as well. This level also brings these fat penguins, and basically, so one of the things that can happen is you get the penguins can latch onto you, and if enough penguins latch onto you, you get captured. These pink penguins actually count for 2 towards that, thing. So if only 3 of those penguins latch onto you, you will get captured. So we are going to get towards the end of this level, and right here we are going to go up this wall. And there is actually an achievement tied to going into this part of the level right here. So if you are trying to find the secret penguin hideout, that is where it is. And it basically brings us to the end of the level. Doesn't save too much time, maybe like a second or so, but it is always nice to show that off and help people get towards that 100% achievement goal. So now that we're done with Gala Knight, we are in Editorium, the last level in the run. So this level was broken pretty early on in the speedrunning history of Penny, thanks to one of the tricks in the unrestricted category called a zip. And it was so cool that we tried very hard to find a way to do it unrestricted. So here it is. So we're gonna swing over. We're gonna... Oh, that might not work. That's not gonna work. No. Alright. Next go around, I am gonna grab that checkpoint just so that I don't waste too much more time than I already have. So, yeah, so basically, we're gonna get to that end section of the level, by using our swings to get speed, enough speed to reach that end. And it actually does save quite a bit of time, to do that. I'm gonna go in this way, because this is where the checkpoint is, and then we're just gonna go back around to there, and we're gonna try this one more time. I don't think that... Nope, that's gonna work. Alright. So, we basically skipped a very big majority of the level, and to finish that within 40 seconds. The rest of the levels in this world are actually pretty long. Editorium is the longest world in terms of like restricted. In the unrestricted category, there's a couple of shenanigans that you can do in order to complete the levels quickly. Like this ramp up here, there is a trick that you can do off of it where the game will launch you at a high speed in both vertically and horizontally, and you can get to the end of this level in under a minute, which is pretty crazy. But of course we don't do that here, and we just do the level as normally as we can, making sure to grab this pepper because we cannot get up these walls if we don't have that equipped. And we're just gonna continue going on with this level. I'm gonna grab this checkpoint for safety. And grab this magnet. Now, we're coming up to another skip where we use some rooftops to our advantage. The first part of it is getting enough speed where we can actually reach the top of this rooftop. Then we're going to continue along and go on top of these rooftops and skip a large margin of the level by basically going in as much of a straight line as we can towards the end. So we're going to grab this burger to destroy this wall, and that's all we really need it for. And we are coming up to the end of the level here. The music is definitely a bop. This is, I think, between Editorium and actually the first level, I think this is my favorite song in the entire game. Some good news, though, I just got a gold on my splits, so that is great. So this level, we're gonna skip having to use a magnet. That saves that movement saves a couple of seconds, but it is again very high risk, high reward. And yeah, like a lot of the tricks in this game are. So we're gonna again use our speed to our advantage to skip having to really roll out that carpet there and just get to platforms easily. And we are going pretty fast in this level, actually. This is actually a really good 11-3. So what we are going to do now is we are going to get on top of this area right here, swing over to this pole because we don't really need that carpet, and then we are going to do a pretty difficult I messed that up entirely. I don't know why I went for that, but it's okay because the checkpoint is here. We're just gonna do this normally. That only saves like a couple of seconds from doing that normally. And then we're gonna do another pretty big skip here by going around that fire and going this way. Alright. And we are actually almost to the end of this level. Once we get down here. And there we go. Alright.
Mildew, if I can chime in with a really quick update on just a certain naming bid war.
Yeah, go right ahead.
So all those $5 1 cent donations, people joining the Penny Club, appreciate y'all. We have now Evened up a little bit the trainer name status. Kiri still leads at $50, but Pikachu is second at $23.35. I'm just saying, $27 to put it in the lead wouldn't just get us a new trainer name; it would get us over 3,200. So, I'm just putting it out there, folks. If you want to help Transgender Law Center, this is one way to do it, or just donate in general. It's up to you.
Yeah, if we can hit $3,200, it would make me feel very happy. So if you want to make me happy, please donate to get to that milestone. All right. So this is the last platforming level of the run. There's a couple of cool things that we can do. I messed something up there, but that's okay because it doesn't take that much time off of doing the level normally. So right here, I'm going to try and swing over to this area of the level without having to use that carpet, and then we're just going to damage boost through there so that I can get up this pole really quickly. And we're going to just, continue using what we can to make things go faster. This hasn't happened in a while. I'm going to use this trampoline in the middle of all those spikes to get up. And then we're going to swing over to this pole again. I'm going to grab this checkpoint because it is necessary at this point. And we're going to hit some trampolines. And once we are done hitting those trampolines, we are going to go on top of these disappearing platforms. And go through this pipe. And we are reaching the half pipe section of this level. Well, normally we can roll out that carpet, but we can just do this, get enough speed to reach the top over here so that we can ride the top of this area. And then what we're going to do is once we get towards the end of this platform is we're going to swing on over to here, get on top of this section, and then we're going to grab on to this zip line, and this zip line will take us straight to the end platform of the level. All right. And now that this level is done, we go to the final boss, which is Emperor Eddie. This has 3 phases. The first phase, I'm just gonna knock him into the crowd. He takes off his shirt, and then he jumps over us, and then I'm gonna see if he does a thing. He does not. You know what? I'm gonna restart for that because I want to show this off. All right. So he's gonna jump again, and if he doesn't do the thing I want him to, I'm not gonna restart again for it. Eddie's gonna be very non-compliant with me. So there's 2 things he can do there. If he can do this, or he can square up against us, and it's cool. I mean, I guess I could show it here because he'll do it anyway. But you can actually. I didn't even do it right. All right. So you can actually get him to Wile E. Coyote himself over the edge, and it actually counts as a hit, but that's only if you get it on like the first thing that he does. Once you hit him 3 times, you get into this cutscene right here, and you launch Eddie into the audience a 3rd time, and the game fakes you out, and it's like, you defeated him, but he's got another phase. So right now, Eddie is a giant polygamous monster, and I don't mean polygamous as in like, you know what I mean, but polygons. That is what I mean. So there's actually one more skip we can do here. So I'm gonna go up on the right side of this. We're gonna jump off. We're gonna wait a bit. We're gonna swing. And we actually skipped a large portion of the end run platform there. So we've got this last section where Eddie is going to shoot some stuff at us, and we just dodge him over to this screw. One fun fact about this screw, at the beginning of the game's life cycle, you know how screws are righty-tighty, lefty-loosey? Well, this screw was righty-loosey, lefty-tighty. But that was fixed, and we're gonna spin to get the screw out of Eddie's head, and time is coming up very shortly after the game fades to black after skipping this last cutscene. And time.
GG.
Thank you. Oh man, that was, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, really bad. All right. Anyway, that was Penny's Big Breakaway, any percent restricted. If I wasn't so far over estimate, I would show off some unrestricted stuff, but I don't want to take up too much more time. Shout outs to the Penny Discord. There's a lot of people in there that have done a lot for this game. Zan's Rotisserie Sandwich. You got Withered Soul. They do a lot of unrestricted stuff. And Labris, who did the auto splitter for this game. And, we have a very nice and welcoming community. Head to the speedrun.com page to join the Discord. I'd like to thank the staff of Speed4 for letting me showcase this run, even though I didn't do as well of a job as I would have hoped. I still had a lot of fun doing so. And with that, I think that's basically everything. I'm ready to get out of here.
Thank you so much for that run. We greatly appreciate it, and fantastic job again.
Thank you.